to Universally Bedford Live. Universally Bedford Live, that's what it's called. That's where we are today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're doing these every week, Thursdays at 7 p.m, and we are elevating it every single week. Hopefully you'll be able to tell the difference. I'm going to be reliant entirely on you. Yes, you. To tell me what's working and what's not. We're going to try and make this as fun and entertaining as possible. This is really it in its embryonic form. We want to grow this thing, build a community of people that we can have fun with and all the rest. But thank you so much for joining. Say hi in the chat. It's right there for you and it's right there for us. We're going to be there having a chat. I'm going to do my absolute best to answer any questions that you have throughout this session. Now, quick question. Have you been following some of the updates this week? Because there are a few. Hi, Liam. Liam's in London. Whereabouts in London, Liam? Let me know. It's a big place. Lots of people. As you know, I'm just a stone's throw from the site of the planned Universal Studios theme park and resort. Still feels a little bit surreal saying it. We got Henry here. He's from Chatham. Hello, Henry. How are you doing? Thank you, Liam. Coming through clearly. Happy days. All right. This is fantastic. Well, as I said, we've got a bit of an action-packed hour for you guys today, and I'm really excited. What we're going to try and do is going to wrap in some of the craziest, the maddest ideas that I've had over the last few months and condense them and distill them into this experience. And that's what I'm trying to achieve. And really, that's only possible through you guys. So thank you. Jason, evening from Costa del Elsto. It's looking busy on the site now. It is looking busy, Jason. And actually, I think what we should do to kick things off is actually have a little bit of a spotlight on the site. So let's see what's going on the site today. I did warn you. I told you this was going to be a little bit of a view into my consciousness, and it's going to be a mad trip, but you let me know how much is too much, if there is so much thing as too much. What we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of a look. I sent the drone up yesterday on the 6th of August, and we're going to have a little bit of a look, see what I saw. You might have some thoughts too. If you do, drop them in the chat. That's what that thing is for, right? So let's kick it off. All right. So here we are above the site. Now we're having a little bit of a look around. Okay, so this is looking at the site from Broadmead Farm. That's a Stuartby end. Thank you, Liam. Love the animation. This is fun. Look, man, I hope you're going to enjoy what's coming later, because that's just a taster. So you can see here that we've got quite a bit of action going on. Obviously, these fields have now been harvested, which has allowed a lot of vehicles to get onto the site. So you've seen two just down there. You can see a white van just traversing the site. This is the core zone right here. This is the part of the site that will be the theme park. In fact, where that van is there, and those two vans that you can see, actually, what's that? Two vans and a car, perhaps. What you can see there is right there. That's going to be sort of like that kind of illumination, minions area of the site, as we know at the moment. That's based on the concept art that we've seen. But we've seen a lot of business going on, right? We've seen some of those blue poles in the ground, which seem to be the remnants from the cone penetration tests, and just a little bit about those. That's where they have a big cone, and they are cramming it into the earth, and they're measuring how much force it's taking to push that down. As well as that, those cones have actually got tiny pores like skin in them, so they can sense the moisture in the ground as well. So lots and lots of stuff going on there. Right, let's move on. You can see there's that up there, that water. That's because we had a bit of rain recently. Part of all of this work is to understand how the water flows around the site. Ronnie, I think they know they're getting the SDO and just planning it for next month. Ronnie, I think you might be right. Okay, now let's scoot up. We're scooting up here towards the A421, which is of course the dual carriageway that runs between the M1 and the A1, and that is where they're going to be building that slip road. So we're going to go over here and we're going to see if there's anything going on there. Historically, there's not been any activity there at all, but what you can see right here in the middle of the picture is, you can see some sort of contraption. Looks like a drilling rig of some description with that van, and they seem to be doing some of that, more of that kind of cone penetration testing, something of that ilk right there. Yeah, Jason agrees 100%. Ronnie, it's and Jason, you're right. A lot of people don't appreciate the size of the site. It's absolutely enormous, right? I've been toying with this idea, something that's kind of almost like a bit of a social thing that people can do, where we'd actually physically agree a time and a place, and we'd meet up and we'd go around there and we'd kind of just walk around the site. Maybe we'd do it not actually on the site, because trespassing and all of that business, but kind of do a lap as close as we can to anyway. But look, here's a bit more of a closer look at that drilling rig, and of course that little walk thing, we could do some charity work, something like that. I think that would be a really nice thing to do. But this is something that we've not seen on this part of the site, the A421 slip road area of the site. We've not seen any work there at all. This is the first I've seen of activity in that area. One of the things that hasn't been talked about as well, we talked about the East-West Rail project, we've talked about potentially them relocating Stewartby Station and Kempston Hardwick Station and amalgamating them into one. So yeah, I mean, we talked about that, but one of the things we've not talked about is obviously that slip road, A421, coming off. The core zone is on the other side of the East-West Rail. So what we're going to have there is probably going to have to cross that railway in some form, probably another bridge. Right, now you might be able to see in the center of your screen something quite exciting moving in near that little spinny in the middle of the field. Right there we have a excavator moving. Now, I heard it from somebody who does know a lot about these things. They're not connected with the project, but they do know about these things, that this excavator could indeed be there to do some trial pits. Now, a trial pit, in essence, is them digging and seeing what happens. It's quite a rudimentary form of test, just to see what the Earth's like and how it responds. But it very well might be that they start kind of digging the Earth just to see what goes on. We're going to get a little bit closer, but I'm very aware when we've got this number of people on the site, and of course this is a handful compared to the 5,000 workers that we're going to be expecting at the peak of construction. I'm very cautious about disrupting people's work, getting too close. You don't want to fly over people. You've got to remain a safe distance. There's a lot of legislation and things you got to do when you're flying a drone just to be compliant and safe. So obviously that is what we are doing there. So looking at that excavator, you can see, to my knowledge, there was only one working the site which would make sense, I suppose, especially if they're going to be doing some of those kind of trial pits. You're going to be able to kind of just do some digging, move around, do a bit more digging, move around. But I think it's going to be super interesting to go around the site, as I'm going to over the next couple of days, and see exactly what that excavator's been doing. You know, it should be quite easy to see from the drone what has gone on and if there are any trial pits that have been dug, or perhaps it's just there to pull out those blue rods. We don't know. We will find out though in the coming days and weeks. So if you're not already subscribed, now's your opportunity and invitation to do so. Right. Okay. So as Ronnie said, the SDO is in. We're currently in this kind of period right now of another period of public engagement, which is, you know, it's fun. We've been here before. Now, a lot of people are asking, okay, yeah, it's planning. You know, the planning application's gone in, nothing's been approved. That's absolutely correct. That's absolutely true. But of course, one of the nuances to this is that this planning application, the SDO, was put together in collaboration with the exact people who will be making a decision on the project. So make your own mind up as to whether or not this is going to happen. My feeling is that we're looking incredibly likely for something to happen. This is incredibly exciting. I'm absolutely buzzing. So look, let's just jump into the chat. Let's see what's been going on there. So as Ronnie said, SDO's in, but we're kind of, the work's continuing, so no time is lost. Jason agrees 100%. And he says that he used to work at the Kempston Hardwick Brickworks, and that area is massive. Fantastic, Jason. Let us know in the chat when that was. Give us an idea, man, because all my experience of the site is that it's just brownfield. That to me, that's all it's ever been, because I didn't grow up in the area. I moved to the area fairly recently, so it's been like that for, you know, for as long as I can remember. But I have seen the videos. I do know that it used to be something. It used to be something big. It used to be something that was, you know, a matter of pride for a lot of people, particularly in the local area. A lot of employees from the local area. Ronnie, I think they will be doing some work on the core zone next year, but won't see anything go vertical until 2027 because of groundwork. Ronnie, I've got a feeling you're right. There's a lot of groundwork to do. It's going to be, you know, we've got roads, infrastructure to sort out. We've also got the matter of utilities. We've got to get electricity, gas, water, sewage, all of those facilities in there, and of a volume to support on a peak day 55,000 people being on that plot of land, right? It's going to take a significant amount of work to elevate the standards of utilities from a field to something that can support 55,000 people. So I think you're right. I think that's where a lot of the work's going to be going. There'll be some concrete pouring. There might be some foundations dug and things like that. I think the really, really exciting things are going to come 28, 29. I think that's when it's going to get very, very exciting indeed. But you let me know. When do you think we're going to finally start seeing things arrive at the site? When do you think the slip road's going to kick off? When do you think Wixham Station is going to be finished? You let me know in the comments. All right, Joseph, Gil, evening, man. Do I still think they'll have a Jurassic Park area? I'm counting on it. It's as good as confirmed in the concept art. There is not a single Universal Studios theme park around the world where there is not a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World themed area with the rides. Okay, so make of that what you will. I'd be absolutely shocked, flabbergasted, and a little bit disappointed if we did not get that here. Liam McDonald, what's an SDO? When are they used? SDO is a special development order. It's basically a way, it's for projects of an enormous scale. It's projects for an enormous scale where you don't want to have to go to the parish council or the local borough council for planning permission. You can elevate it straight to Westminster, to government there, and they will make the decision. The reason the SDOs are applied for are either because of a security risk. Okay, so if there are development works going on at MOD facilities, those are done through SDO. Or if a project's deemed to be in the national interest. And this one has been deemed to be in the national interest economically, culturally, all of those kind of things. It's a package that will deliver £50 billion worth of value to our economy over the first 20 or 30 years. So that is pretty huge. I think it's the first 20 years, actually. Yes, the first 20 years. You see, I knew it was 2050 that was by. And then I forgot that 2030, 2031, when this place opens, that's only like 5 or 6 years away. And that's kind of nuts. But that's why an SDO happens. I do actually have some content on the channel about SDOs, but if you want some more, I will do some more. Absolutely. Okay. All right, Ronnie. Also, they got to build around a new man-made lake for the park. They do need to do a new lake in the middle of the park. In the concept art, you've seen that lagoon. That doesn't exist at the moment. That's a field. So they need to work on that. Adventure Worldwide. Hello. What themed area do you want in Universal Studios, Great Britain, UK? Well, I've already mentioned Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. I really would love to see Back to the Future. It's been teased, alluded to, heavily hinted in the concept art. And it has been, a trademark's been registered for a theme park attraction bearing that name. Universal hold the rights, so make of that what you will. So to me, that's what I really want to see. I think there's enormous potential there. Absolutely can't wait for it. Now, the chat will keep going, and we will come back to the chat momentarily, but it's time for just a little bit of interaction. I'm going to need your guys' help. I'm going to need your help. In fact, I do and I don't, because this is an opportunity for you to test yourself. Now, this is a game of my creation called Thusi Thesaurus. Thusi is a abbreviated term for a theme park enthusiast, right? So if you are a theme park enthusiast, you may do very well here. We're going to start easy, and then later on in the episode, we're going to go medium, and then right towards the end, we're going to go hard. If you're not a theme park enthusiast, that's okay. This could be educational. This might be just a little bit of fun. No one's keeping score. It's all a bit of a laugh. But what I need you to do, and I will be calling out the first person to give me the correct answer in the chat. So you gotta have your little, if you're on your phone, you gotta have your thumbs ready. If you're on your computer, like that. If you're watching on the TV, I don't know, you're going to have to think of something quick, because we're going to kick off right now into a spot of Thusi Thesaurus. How about that? Is that a bit of fun? Honestly, man, like this whole thing's just killing me. Right, okay. Thusi Thesaurus. The name of the game is, I will give you a term. You need to be the first, rapid fire, into the chat. What am I talking about? Give me the description. I'll give you the term. You give me the description. Okay, let's start easy. First one. Dark ride. Dark ride. Okay, so what's this? Some ride with the lights off? I don't know, you're going to have to tell me. I'm going to give you 10, 15 seconds. I think that should be enough. I think we're fairly speedy typers here. So this is your chance. You got to get in there. Quick, get in there in the chat. Dark ride. What is dark ride? What is a dark ride? Quick, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. We got some ideas coming through. I'm liking this. Keep coming. I'm going to give you 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So I'm going to kind of jump in here. So Ronnie Dodge has come in with Jurassic World Adventure. Now, I'm not sure if that's in reference to our Jurassic Park conversation that we were just having, or as an answer to this very question. But if it was an answer to that question, what is a dark ride? Jurassic World Adventure is an example of it. Henry Cooper's saying an inside ride. Henry, you're right. Inside. Very good. Liam Donald, Epic Universe has some dark stuff. Yeah. Ronnie Dodge, it was an answer. Ronnie Dodge wins. Ronnie Dodge was there. Number 1, numero uno. Joseph Gill, themed indoor ride. You're right there as well, Joseph. This is good. This is good. Excellent. Now, did anyone not know? I'm not going to, you don't have to, I mean, look, the chat is a safe place. This is a nice place with some nice people. Let us know in the chat if you didn't know, if that's a new concept to you, a dark ride. If that's something new to you, then let us know in the chat. That would be it would be good to know, that we're performing a service here. It's like informative and educational as well. Right. That was round 1. We're going to come back for round 2 a little bit later. But before we go back to round 2, we're going to do a little bit of something else. Now, hopefully you've kind of warmed up and you're into the chat and you're used to the chat. Now, this one, there is no right or wrong answer. This comes down to your opinion and what you want. All right? So you ready? We're about to play some Rope Drop Showdown. Yeah, man. I told you it was going to get a bit zanier. And honestly, we're just getting started here. This is going one way from here. Right, okay. Let's get into this. So, Rope Drop Showdown. Now, this is a little bit of a thesaurus one for you, which is to rope drop a ride means you are there when the park opens, okay? And as soon as the rope drops, park opens, you're beelining it for one attraction. Your ride of choice. Okay? So, yeah, makes sense? Now, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated because I'm going to make it a head-to-head. I'm going to make you choose between 2. They're always going to be universal attractions from around the world, okay? But you have to choose one or the other. There is no correct answer or wrong answer. There is just your opinion. So please let loose. Okay? All right. Are we ready for number 1? Here we go. Round 1. Here it is. Okay. All right. We have in the green corner weighing in with pure gamma rage and 7 inversions, Titan of Terror, the Incredible Hulk coaster, and on the other side, right, we have the Revenge of the Mummy. All right, we've got the Revenge of the Mummy. So I need you to tell me in the chat whether you're going. Are you rope dropping Incredible Hulk, or are you rope dropping the Revenge of the Mummy? You let me know in the chat, and we will decide who wins. In fact, we could start a little poll, couldn't we? Hulk or Revenge of the Mummy? Hulk, Mummy. Start the poll. Here we go. All right, there you go. All right, we got Weasty. I think that I don't know, man. I'm thinking that is that's a kind of Hulk emoji. Liam's in there straight away with the Hulk as well. Henry's with the Hulk. Ronnie doesn't know. He's gonna pump for Mummy. Interesting. No. I mean, this is the beautiful thing, because we're all different. We all like different things. That's why a day at a theme park can be so interesting, because we're all not going to want to go on the same stuff. Okay, you got a few more seconds left. Get in there while you can. And then very soon we're going to go on to the next one. Okay, poll's going to close very, very shortly. Here we go. Okay. And they're still with the Hulk. Weasty Hulks. Because I haven't been on it. The people I've been there have never wanted to try it. No! Liam's going in with the Mummy. Lots of Mummy emojis, man. I love it. I think. Has he gone in there? No, he's gone Hulk. But it looked like that thing with that looked like a Mummy's head. Sorry. My mistake. But yes. All the green. All the green. Ronnie, I like the Hulk, but think because I heard it's rough. Okay, all right. The poll has ended. All right. We had 71% going for the Hulk and 28% going for the Mummy. Okay, all right, now who's ready for round two? All right, I'm just gonna load up this this one here now. Are you ready? Here we go. We're round two. We have Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey versus Jurassic World Adventure. Now, Jurassic World Adventure is the ride rumoured to be coming to Bedford. It exists elsewhere in the world. It exists at Universal Studios Beijing. I think next week what we might do is we might actually together, we might watch a POV of that ride. Okay, I'm gonna get the poll going right now. Here we go. We are now going. Okay, all right, quick one. While people are keying it all in, Weasty, you're right. The Incredible Hulk has been retracked to make it less rough. I've heard that's made a difference. I will report back because I'm going to Orlando in a few months' time. All right, now. We got some stuff here. Okay. Oh, this is nice. This is good. We got a little bit of conflict here. Make sure that you vote in the poll as well. We got some differences of opinion. This one's actually quite close. Make sure you vote. Make sure that you drop your option in the chat as well. You don't want to be one of these people that kind of, you know, you're on the stream and you're like, oh, if only I'd have just voted when I had the chance. It's your chance. Do it. Okay? Do it now. All right. So we got Ronnie Dodge. Ronnie Dodge is saying Jurassic World Adventure easily. Okay. Very good. Very good. This is, well, you know, we might get that right here. Liam is saying Harry Potter. It is, at least until very recently, Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey was, by a lot of people, considered one of the best dark rides in the world. So, totally valid opinion. Henry saying Forbidden Journey only as I've been on the Harry Potter ride. So that's a fair comment as well, Henry. Of course, when the other one is all the way on the other side of the world in China, kind of difficult to judge. So you kind of, it's up to you. You could either, you know, you decide the rules. You don't need to have been on the ride to vote for it. You can kind of just go with your heart. Go with your gut. Whatever's right for you. Weasty has shared some emojis of palm trees and, very crucially, a Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I think we know where Weasty sits with this. Okay, Roddy. They do adventure in the UK. I could see them theming it to Rebirth. That would be interesting. It's obviously another redo of the entire series. But, you know, I'll be happy with anything. Look, do you know what? Just give me Isla Nublar anywhere, and I'd be very, very happy. Liam, who is designing the rides for Bedford, Do you think they're already designed, or will they be designed after surveying? They'll be designed by Universal themselves, probably in collaboration with the rides manufacturers. I think they got some ideas, but I doubt very much that they've got any firm plans. That's probably why they're doing all of this groundwork testing at the moment. But surely they will have to know fairly soon, because if they're going to start constructing the framework of this site, they're going to need to know how much space they have to work with. They're going to have to think about sight lines, so what you can see from where and all of that kind of thing. So very, very interesting. Okay, now I'm closing that one. Now that one's a really interesting one. That was really close. Okay, Jurassic World Adventure on 57%. Forbidden Journeys on 42%. So that was very close. Thank you guys for getting into that. Okay, right, ready for the next one. Here's round 3. Okay, we have E.T. versus Back to the Future, the ride. So just to be clear, this is the classic Back to the Future attraction. Okay, so this is the dark ride, the kind of simulator where you get in the DeLorean and you do some stuff, versus E.T., another dark ride where you hop on the bike and you do this thing, and then E.T. will kind of go at the end if you are lucky. So let's get into the chat, and I'm starting the poll, so off we go. Okay, all right, Ronnie. Ronnie says he hasn't ridden either, but for childhood reasons, Back to the Future. We kind of got two 80s icons going head to head here, haven't we? Liam is going Back to the Future 100%. Very, very interesting. So Back to the Future is clearing it up right now. We've had 5 votes in already, and Back to the Future is 100%ing it. I'm going to give us a few more minutes with this, and then we're going to, well, a few minutes? No, not that. Seconds. Paul, Back to the Future 100%. I'm with you, Paul. All right, this is very, very good. Okay, the poll is going to close in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're going to close that poll right. Okay, fantastic. Well, that was a clear winner. That was Back to the Future all the way. Okay, Henry, I ride E.T., but I'm going for Back to the Future. Very, very good. Okay, Henry, here is number 4. We have Velocicoaster at Islands of Adventure, and we have Spider-Man also at Islands of Adventure. So one of them is a world-class roller coaster, and one of them is a world-class dark ride. You need to tell me which one you are rope dropping today. And this is how you're feeling right now. As I said, go with your heart, go with your gut. It doesn't matter. I've got to try and spell Velocicoaster now. Velocicoaster for the poll. Here we go. And Spidey. All right, here we go. All right, the poll is now live. So go. All right, Ronnie Dodge is in there first with Velocicoaster. Now let's keep going. Okay, so Liam, these two are in Islands of Adventure. Liam, do you know what the heartbreaking thing? I've not actually ridden Velocicoaster yet. I've had some trips planned, but they've been cancelled for various reasons. However, that's due to change very, very shortly, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to be sharing those trips with you all. I cannot wait. All right, Steve, been on Spider-Man a lot already. Okay, so right now we've got Velocicoaster at 75% and we got Spidey at 25%. Okay, we're going to leave it a few more seconds just to see if that moves at all. We are going to close this one in a moment. So you've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That one's closed, and we've closed it at Velocicoaster at 83% and Spidey at 16%. Wow, that was quite definitive. We got a lot of coaster guys in the guys and girls in the audience tonight. That's fantastic. All right, we got the final round now. It's round 5. Okay, So we are going a little bit down memory lane, I suppose you could say, for these. So we've got on one side, we have the Hollywood Studio Tram Tour. So that's at Universal Studios Hollywood. It's a 45-minute experience, and you get to experience you get Jaws, you get Earthquake, you get Kong, you get Fast and Furious. Great. You get to see sort of like some of the sets from movies like Psycho, from War of the Worlds, from all of these places. Hill Valley, of course, from Back to the Future, although it burned down, they rebuilt it just for the tour. And then on the other side we have Jaws. So Jaws being the standalone attraction, not the one that's part of the studio tour, the one that used to be at Universal Studios in Orlando, but is still in existence in Osaka, Japan. Okay, here we go. The poll is live, so off you go. Do your worst. All right, so Liam, everyone here loves coasters, don't we all? We love coasters. Now we're here. I mean, coasters are just the most fantastic and ridiculous thing. They are, you know, if you think about it, think about the amount of energy that goes into designing them and making them safe. Think about the amount of money that goes into to constructing them. Millions of pounds. And also that we can feel close to death, but in a really safe way. Amazing, right? That's ultimately what a thrill is. It's getting that part of your brain that kicks off the adrenaline so that you feel a rush. Okay, all right. Ronnie Dodge is going with Jaws because it terrified him as a kid. So far we have 67% with the studio tour and 33% with Jaws. This is your last round, so you don't want to miss the opportunity. Do not let this be a moment that you kind of think, oh, do you know what? I wish I'd advocated. I wish I put my weight behind my favourite ride and actually voted or actually got involved in the chat. Now's your chance to make a difference in a totally insignificant way, but you can do it all the same and do it for us. Okay, we're going to close the poll in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go, and we have closed it. This one is a close one with Studio Tour at 57% and Jaws at 42%. Fantastic. Thank you all so much for voting. I'm going to just run through some of the chat here. Liam would absolutely love to do the studio tour. Wonder if Universal will have any link to the studios in Bedford. So they are looking at obviously developing some studios around the corner from the Universal plot. As well as that, we've got the Cardington sheds that they use for filming. That's just down the road. Neither of those have any connection whatsoever to Universal. I don't think we'll see anything like a studio tram tour here. I really do not. I think those things only really work when you're seeing the real thing. Okay, so the Hollywood Studio Tram Tour works because you're seeing the Bates Motel that was used when they filmed Psycho, right? It only works because you're seeing the crashed 747 that was in War of the Worlds. It wouldn't, like, sure they could like ship over some stuff, but there's some magic to actually seeing the thing in the place where it was filmed decades ago. Absolute magic. Ronnie, love roller coasters. I'm definitely not a flat ride person. That's why I won't be going on the new swing at Blackpool next year. Yeah, I know. That one makes me feel a little bit nauseous just thinking about it. We see hardest choice yet for me, Studio Tour. That one was a tough one. And because it was like historical to a degree, there's going to be a bit of nostalgia that creeps in there. So it kind of depends, you know, where your nostalgia sits. If your nostalgia sits with Jaws, or if your nostalgia sits with the Studio Tour, or whatever it is. Anyway, that was Rope Drop Showdown. How did you find it? Let me know in the chat. This is obviously a new thing. I want to make this more interactive. I want to make it more fun. But let me know how you're finding it. Is this good? What could we do differently? You know, feedback is the most powerful thing you can give me and the most valuable thing. So whatever you have for me, give it to me. All right. I think it's time for a little bit of a dip back to the library. Welcome back to the library. It's now time for our second round of Thesaurus. This one, we're going medium tier. Like our first one was easy. This one's kind of medium. Now, difficulties are all relative. It all depends kind of how much of an enthusiast you are or not. But this one is number 2. Are you ready? So, first answer, that's correct in the chat. I'm looking for a definition. Pre-show. 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 What is a pre-show? Who is a pre-show? What is a pre-show? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. All right. You got about 10 to 15 more seconds to get that answer in and lock it into the chat. Make sure you do. I'm looking for the definition of pre-show. Pre-show. What is a pre-show? All right, we're starting to get some answers in the chat here. We're starting to get some answers. Okay, Jason, he's been first to the punch. He is saying entertainment whilst in queue. Liam's saying preparation before. Okay, yeah, all right, okay. Anyone else? Tells you the story of the ride, says Ronnie Dodge. Okay. Yeah, all right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay. We're gonna get now to the to the definition. So the definition of a pre-show is like it's a short sequence or a presentation before the main attraction or the ride begins. And like Ronnie says, it's designed to set the story, give you the context, tell you the story, set the story of the ride, and to build anticipation. So I'm gonna say that both Jason, Liam, and Ronnie, do you know what? In a way, each of you are correct, because part of it, Liam, preparation for, some of it can be anticipation. It can also be how to get into the ride vehicle. It can be safety stuff. All of those things can be wrapped up into a pre-show. I'm going to give you all a bit of kudos there, and yeah, absolutely, you can have that one. All right, happy days, fantastic. Right, okay, now let's scoot through the chat and let's see what's been going on. All right, I want to know what everybody here is most excited for. Okay, I want you to tell me what you're most excited for. 2031 comes. What are you running to? It doesn't need to be a ride. It could be anything. All right, anything at all. You tell me what you're most excited for. While you're having to think about that, you can drop it in the chat. Liam's saying about actually the Game of Thrones film studio tour in Belfast had an amazing pre-show and he'd highly recommend it. Love that. Ronnie Dodge, excellent point. Baron 1888 has a pre-show before you go on the lift hill. Now, just so you know, that's a B&M dive coaster, so kind of, a bit like a Oblivion, Alton Towers, but this one is kind of themed to in this kind of period setting. It's well worth a look. Look up Baron 1888 on YouTube. Watch a POV. Have a look at a kind of a walkthrough as well of that whole queue into the pre-show, because the whole thing is such an experience, and that is what it's all about. Okay, all right. Okay, so Weesty got the hand up. I'll take that. You know, I'm going to take that as being excited, just generally being excited. You can elaborate a little bit more. All right, Ronnie Dodge, he's most excited about Jurassic World. I think hearing the score loud will make me emotional. Do you know what, man? I think you're right. I think that's got some, I think it's got the power to make you feel things. I think that could be fantastic. All right, Liam is most excited for a Lord of the Rings experience. He got married in Hobbiton last year. We need more Lord of the Rings experiences. You got married in Hobbiton, man. You can't just tease a little carrot like that. You got give us a little bit more information. Give us a bit more information. How was it? Was it good? Like, how did you get everyone there? That sounds incredible. Henry is excited at the moment right now hearing themed areas. I'm excited at the moment right now hearing confirmed themed areas and rides and attractions for the park. But when it opens, I am going to the Back to the Future ride if it's there. Right, Henry? I will see you there. I will see you there. We will run arm in arm. Okay, David J. Lloyd, number one, the record breaking rides. Number two, I love this, Dave. Getting in there with a double header. Going City Walk on a night out. Hopefully cheaper than the Orlando version. Yeah, hopefully, man. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to be a cheap night out, but it'll be good. Do you know what, David? Like, that's one of the things that I'm looking forward to the most, particularly as somebody who's local to the park. I'm looking forward to being able to go, oh, it's a nice evening. Yeah, should we just pop down City Walk and, have a few drinks? Imagine. Ah, unbelievable that this is now our reality. Okay, Ronnie, I just need our park to have Raptor Encounter. I would like that too, Ronnie. I think that could be great. Weesty, hold up. Halloween Horror Nights. Halloween Horror Nights, anyone? Who's up for that? Who's up for a little bit of HHN in Bedford Borough? Sounds pretty good. I mean, let us know. I mean, Weasley, have you got any particular IPs that you'd like to see at Halloween Horror Nights? I mean, that would be, like, what do you think? Do you reckon there are any kind of like UK things, right? Like, I mean, look, we had the plague, man. We've had like Jack the Ripper. Okay, we've had the Blitz. We've had all of these like crazy things in history. I mean, not to mention some of the medieval times of witchcraft and some of the things that they used to do when torturing or executing people in this country. In this country. We've got IP coming out of our ear holes when it comes to Halloween. Honestly, we got no problem there. Let us know in the chat what you'd like to see. David J. Lloyd, my favourite ride of all time is Shikra, Busch Gardens, Tampa. Any chance of something similar? That's an interesting one, David. That's an interesting one. Look, we were just talking about Baron 1888. That's obviously a themed dive coaster. It's possible. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we would. I'm not sure we would see something like that. But hey, this is the beauty of this whole project. Like we will start finding things out. And just so you know, they're looking to add something new to this every year once it's opened. So it might not be like a roller coaster every year, right? But it might be something fun and exciting and new. A reason for you to go back. Right, okay. They've been to Hobbiton 3 times now. You can hire it out for the afternoon and evening. Had friends and family come from all over the world. I'd highly recommend a visit. World class. Liam, you have twisted my arm. It's time for me to go. That sounds incredible, man. And I hope you had a fantastic day, and obviously congratulations for back then as well. Ronnie, Beetlejuice or Ghostbusters for Horror Nights, or something themed to Jack the Ripper or Great Fire of London. Another one. What if there was a supernatural cause to the Great Fire of London? Imagine that, right? Whoop. Okay, can you tell us about City Walk? Is it open to the public, right? Is it themed? So Liam, yeah, it is themed, but not in a kind of a global way, right? So it's not like the whole thing is like in a theme. Mm. But each individual part of it, right? Each, so you might have, so Toothsome's Emporium, right? That's themed. You might have, you know, like a Planet Hollywood type thing, right? That's themed. Okay, so everything there is going to have to be of a high quality. I know some people are really crossing their fingers for a Greggs or a Weatherspoons there. It ain't going to happen. It's not going to happen. All right, it's going to have to be something of a level. All right. So yes, they will be themed, but the whole area won't be themed like to one thing. As to whether you can get in or not, yes, you can. You don't need a ticket. You just need to go there. You just need to go there and you can experience it. Okay. Get on the train, pop in, have a few drinks, go home. Maybe have something to eat. Maybe you have been at the park all day. Maybe you're staying at the hotel. Doesn't matter. You don't need a ticket to the park to use City Walk. It's going to be open to the public. Fantastic. Absolutely delighted about that. Ronnie, a friend of mine is a descendant of an accused pendant witch. That is incredible, man. That's very cool. Ronnie, I'm doing the Jurassic World experience of Battersea this month. Ronnie, let us know how it is, man. Let us know in the chat when you've done it. Let us know. Give us a rundown of what was good about it, because I've heard good things. I've heard good things. Henry, what type of restaurants do you think will be at City Walk? Do you think it could be British chain restaurants, or do you think we'll get some restaurants from other parts coming here? I think the latter. I think the latter. I think we'll be having some stuff that you can't get anywhere else in the UK. I think this is going to be, you know, if you had like, you know, a Wagamama's and a Pizza Express and a Nando's, why would you go there to eat where it's probably going to be a bit more expensive when you could go to Rushton Lakes? Okay, Ronnie Dodge, the other food thing I was thinking of since it was last live. Yeah, Voodoo Donuts. I'm keeping everything crossed. All right. Digital Dan, hello. Hello, mate. How are you? Fantastic to have you here. All right, Dan, I need you to stick around, man, because I've got a little feature, and you're going to need to get involved in the chat. Okay, Matteo Mastrandrea, Tooth and the Chocolate Emporium. Looks like it from the concept art. I mean, they've kind of like tried to disguise it a little bit, but not very well. Yeah, Ronnie Digital Dan, hey, the legend. Yes, indeed. The real Dan. Yeah, man, doing absolutely spot on. Thank you, bud. All right, horror idea that's UK based. The Descent cave theme film. Okay, all right, okay, all right. So what we're gonna do, because we're getting towards the end of this episode, but I did promise you 3 rounds of Doozy Thesaurus, so we better do that right now, huh? So are you ready? Okay, I'm just going to explain the rules a little bit because we've had some people join us, including Dan. So let's give it a little bit. This is how this game works. Okay, I'm going to give you a term. It's a enthusiast term. All right. So if you are a theme park enthusiast, you are going to have a slight advantage. But if not, this is an educational experience, right? Just look at it that way. We're on the harder end here. Okay. The term that you need to give me the description in the chat, right? Get your thesaurus out, Dan. Right, this is the term you got to give us, right? You got to give me the description for block section. Okay, give me the definition of block section in the chat, please. I'm just going to have a sip of water. I've been talking an awful lot. So what is a block section? Is it something? It must be something in a theme park. Hopefully, it's not related to some form of constipation. No one needs that. But okay, I'm waiting. Hit me with the suggestions. What is a block section in the chat, please? Please give me the block section definition. You can do it. What's a block section? I'm waiting. I know people know. Oh, he knows exactly what it is, but typing it out is way harder than I thought it'd be. I know it is. I assuming it's got nothing to do with the blockchain. You're right, Liam. None of that funny business here. Oh, Henry's got in there. Henry's got in there. Ronnie's in there. Oh. All right, I'm gonna give people 5 more seconds. All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. If you're gonna get in there, Dan, now's the chance, man. Now's your chance. All right, we're gonna get in there first with Henry, who got in there. He was the first one with the correct answer. Is a block section an area where the ride is split up into more than one track? Sort of. It's where Ronnie says safety brakes, so the trains don't crash during the layout or close behind. Yes. So if you could imagine a roller coaster layout, I don't have anything here. I wish I had some sort of prop that I could explain. Imagine like this, just go like that. It's like stealth, isn't it? All right. Imagine that you cut it in two, and you can only have a train. Like you can only have a train, right, in one section. Now the way you split this up is you'd have like a lift hill and brakes, something like that. Okay. Oh my God, Liam, you're right. I haven't said like and subscribe enough, have I? I should really practice. Please like and subscribe. But effectively, it's a safety measure. A block section is a safety measure that is used so that the ride can be safely operated with more than one train on the track. And it's done so that if one train fails to complete the block of track that it's on, another train can't enter into it. So it normally involves brakes and some sort of propulsion to move, whether that's gravity. It might even be gravity. It might be gravity, or it might be a lift hill, it might be a launch. It might be any of those things. But there you go, we've all learned something new today, which is fantastically exciting. Right. Thank you so much, right, for going on that little bit of a jaunt with me today. It's been a really fun episode for me. I've had a thoroughly good time. I really hope you have. Let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, we're trying to kind of keep elevating this, and to me, when I elevate things, it just kind of gets a little bit more mad. So I am going to rely on you guys to say, hey, dude, chill out. All right, chill out, slow down. Enough of the mad animations. I might treat you to my favourite one just before I sign off. But look, thank you so much for being here. All feedback is welcome. We're doing these every week, man. Every week at 7 p.m. This is just a start. As I said, this is embryonic. This is like the kind of the egg. And what we're seeing is the egg starting to hatch and something coming out of it. This is not, I have some pretty exciting plans for this thing, but some of those plans just can't be done, right? They're going to take time. So I'm going to need your help to guide. Thank you so much for joining. Please, if you don't subscribe already, give us a little subscribe, give it a like, give us a share, do all of that business. And I will be seeing you everywhere where you are, whether it's Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or YouTube or wherever it is. I'll be seeing you there. on the daily, and I'll be seeing you here next week at 7 p.m. And I'm going to just sign it off now with my favourite little animation. God bless you. Take it easy. Have an amazing Friday. Have an unbelievable weekend. I hope the first few days of next week are incredible for you, and I'll see you next week. All right. Catch you later.